It's all for play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Aston Villa fans. Oh, there we go. That's a bit better. Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. Paddy should be on in a minute. I'll be honest, I went a small bit earlier than I told Paddy I would be, but that's because I had a funny feeling that the team sheet might be out a small little bit earlier, as in 11:15. So said better to be here waiting for it than to be a bit late for it. I hope everyone's doing well. At 11:11 GMT here, waiting for a football match. I've got so many pictures in of people, so many messages in from people who are already traveling on their way to the match, getting that Christmas feeling going. And hopefully that Christmas feeling lasts and is even elevated, heightened, and goes into complete another hyperdrive when Aston Villa get the present that they so much deserve, or so much want, should I say, on the 6th of December from their advent calendar, and that would be 3 points versus Arsenal. I haven't seen an awful lot. I haven't been on the Twitter or on the internet an awful lot this morning, so I don't know any of the conjecture for team news. I don't know any conjecture from the Arsenal team news either. So let's, if you guys know of anything or have seen anything, I see here that Adam says no Saliba for Arsenal. That will be a welcome boost, considering they don't have his understudy and Mosquera in there either. Now, Pierre Hincapié is a good player. It'll be interesting to see what their backline does look like. Also interesting to see if Declan Rice plays, and if he starts on the bench as well. So it would be really, really great to see that. To see both team sheets. I'm looking forward to seeing both team sheets, because I think, to be honest with you, look, I've watched enough. So I did a couple of media hits, if you want to call them. I was in TalkSport 2 during the week. I actually did a piece for an Australian radio station during the week as well. Would you believe? Talking about Aston Villa, and both times I was asked if Villa were going to win the league, and both times the presenters were, first of all, annoyed I didn't say yes, and then annoyed afterwards then that I kind of intimated that we might be able to win the league if we beat Arsenal on the 30th of December after beating them today. And I thought that was strange, because I could see the trap question a million miles away. And the reason I bring that up is in Unai Emery's program notes today, he talks about that. He talks about every game at a time. He talks about not buying into that. And to be honest with you, it's at this time of the season, in December, every single year, that a club that is not a perennial winner of the competition gets put into this title race, and the undue pressure, it's just basic fact, because outside of Leicester, we've not seen an outlier winner in the current Premier League structure. So the undue unnecessary pressure of, are we in a title race, only serves the perennial winners, or the people who have won it before, the people who are used to winning, the teams that are used to winning trophies and winning. So from that point of view, I stay away from the title challenge stuff. I would probably stay away from it after this game today as well. And the reason being is it's just bloody enjoyable to be watching football at the moment without putting pressure on ourselves or on the team. Now, the team relish pressure. We know that. They relish it. Do they always show up on the days when the pressure is the most? Probably not. Okay, and that's fair. So both of those are true. But this team is growing under Unai Emery, and Unai Emery is marshalling them. And that's what I'm getting at here, is Unai Emery is marshalling this really, really well. He's had a lot of time to do this, with this team, because the team has stayed pretty stagnant. I suppose the players have stayed pretty consistent, should I say, over the course of the last few years. And as I say, he's going to be able to manage this, and he's going to manage it really, really well. He's going to manage any expectations that come out after this game, or any of the overreaction if Villa go out and lose this game 4-0 as well today. So Aston Villa are playing in the moment, at the moment. And talking of Aston Villa playing in the moment, at the moment, here is the team that Aston Villa are putting out to start this game. So we see Martinez, Cash, Konza, Pau, Maatsen. I did not expect Maatsen in there, but he did play really, really well during the week. Onana, Kamara, Tielemans, McGinn, Rodgers, and Watkins. So the team is more or less exactly, except for Digne and Maatsen, exactly as I predicted last night in our pre-match piece. On the bench, we see Marco Bizot, Lindelof, Digne, Andres Garcia, Lamar Bogard, George Hemmings comes in on the bench. Emiliano Buendia, Daniel Malen, and Jadon Sancho. So Hemmings gets the bench spot vacated by Ross Barkley. And to be honest with you, and I know that we've got Buendia there, I know we've got Lamar Bogard there, but there is a possibility over the next few games or over the next 3 months that George Hemmings gets some minutes. I'm not going to say he's going to get like starts or he's going to have 300 minutes over the next 2 months or whatever, but he could get some minutes from the bench. And it's good to see another young player coming in there onto the bench with the potential to get minutes, because we have to replace Barkley's minutes in some shape or form. So I think that is really beneficial. We have someone else here that I'm delighted is after joining us and will get some minutes in this podcast as well. There we've got Paddy Kelly, fresh from a night on the beer. Paddy, did the alarm not go off?
No, you moved the kickoff time. You're like Sky Sports there now every week.
It's late.
You told me a quarter past. You started at 10 past. Anyway,
I did send a message though, but it's the team is out. Paddy, any surprises there? I suppose outside of Maatsen for you.
Well, the only surprising talking point is that Martinez makes it. I hope he makes it through the bloody warm up today, because we need him. We need him for the big games. We'll just, I suppose the only other questionable one is Maatsen, but does that help him push Saka back? If presuming Saka is playing, that is. So we've more or less picked the team apart from Maatsen, I would imagine, in what we said the other night.
Yeah, and what we said last night, exactly. That is the team that we picked, except for Maatsen. And look, you know what, Paddy? I'm going to say it again. I said it before. Do you remember when it was seen as a negative? Do you remember when it was seen as a stick to beat Unai Emery with, when it said, "Oh, 9 of that team is Dean Smith's team"? I always found that absolutely ridiculous, that statement. Yeah, you can talk about transfers, but transfers don't equate to winning on the field. Transfers don't equate to form. Transfers don't equate to tactical setup and so on. And if anything, it just goes to show how good Unai Emery is. But now we're in a situation here whereby we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Dean Smith players on the field there, and no one really cares. No one really cares anymore. So I just wanted to bring that up and the reason I wanted to bring that up is a stable 11 is worth its weight in gold. Every single manager talks about not getting injuries, and we're going to look at the Arsenal team in a moment, and that's why I bring it up, because the Arsenal team has injuries, and we'll be hoping that those injuries will lead to some instability, although we haven't seen it in this team yet so far, this Arsenal team, because they've been pretty ruthless throughout the course of this year. But the reason I bring it up is stability is stability, and it doesn't matter who signs the players. If the manager is able to make them work, it shouldn't really matter. We can talk the transfer stuff and stuff like that. That's a completely different story. But when you see them lined up 1 to 11 here, it's not symptom. It's not correlation isn't causation with regards to results from that point of view, because we know that Unai Emery can make these players work. And I'm delighted to see Maatsen in there, delighted to see Onana in there, delighted to see Rodgers in there, and obviously delighted to see Pau Torres, Tielemans, all those guys in there as well. So and the reason I bring those guys up is they're players that were brought in under Dean Smith, under Unai Emery, which is great to see. Now, Paddy, no surprises on the bench, I suppose. Well, no. Harvey Elliott not being on the bench isn't a surprise, but George Hemmings is there. I was just talking there a moment ago about him potentially getting meaningful minutes this year in Barkley's absence. He's got 3 months now to kind of prove that he belongs in the first team squad.
It's I suppose a notable absentee as well as Harvey Elliott is Evan Gesson is not on the bench either. So he's obviously played himself out of contention the other night with the meltdown Unai had in there. But you're right about George Hemmings. He looks like a baller. He's big and strong. He's well able to command the midfield. So I would love to see him get minutes. Hopefully on Monday night we get a favourable draw in the FA Cup, and we might see players like him getting a good run out. So we'll see what happens.
So the thing with Gesand is due to go on the 15th of December to the AFCON. I maintain that. Yeah. He's going with Ivory Coast. I maintain Unai is probably going. Why we have a couple of games here now? Let's. He's probably going to be on the plane to Basel, obviously, and playing that game. But I think for the Premier League games that we're going to miss him for, specifically this one, I think Unai is probably saying, yeah, let's bring the likes of George Hemmings in there and give him the opportunity, because he's going to be here and he's going to need some game time for the next 5 weeks or whatever, however long Gesand is gone for. So I think that could have something in it, because Unai Emery basically came out and said that that he was delighted with how Gesand was, and I did tweet about it, and I said that is going to drive some people absolutely bonkers. Arsenal, get out of it! Arsenal with their shitty link. Shitty link that you have to click on, yeah.
Clickbait wankers.
Stop. Yeah.
I see we have a troll in the comments as well. Please don't
leave him off. I saw him there, yeah.
Don't even answer the bastard.
So it's Raya, White, Timber, Hincapi, and Calafiore. I thought Calafiore got booked the last day and was out, but Rice makes the team. Zubimendi, that's a brilliant double pivot there. Odegaard, Saka, Eze, and they go with Marino up front. And I think that that's really interesting. Now, I know that they don't have, Goyerka actually is on the bench, but the fact they go with Marino there is actually quite interesting for me, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But Paddy, there are a couple of surprises in that team there. You see, obviously, they've got a brilliant bench with Lewis Skelly, Norgard, Nweri, Martinelli, Madueke. Trossard makes the bench, who I thought was out as well, and Gyökeres then as well makes the bench also. Talk to me, Paddy. What you see in that team?
No major surprises there. We know about the injuries they have. Mosquera, Gabriel, Saliba. They're all big losses for them. So makeshift at centre half. Interesting to see how we line up and press that, or if we even bother. The fact that Ollie Watkins is in there leads me to believe that we won't, and I don't mean that in a slight on Ollie Watkins. I think he's been conserving his energy in this season. Whereas if it was Malin, I would think he'd be upstanding on the centre half's toes, looking for the out ball from the goalkeeper. But it's there definitely is an opportunity here with as I said, the makeshift centre half partnership, albeit two good players, just haven't had too many minutes together. So that's the weakest part I see for me. But as we expected, it's still a very, very strong team, and with the money they've spent, you'd expect it.
I'm a bit, look, I suppose I'm not actually, as City thinks, I was going to say, I'm a bit surprised he hasn't gone with a back three there of Timber, Hincapi, and Calafiore. Kind of probably suits a back three a small bit more. Probably kind of suits a back three a small bit more there. But yeah, look, we'll, the thing for me, I suppose, here is Marino. Why is Marino in there? And obviously, look, he's been used as a makeshift striker by Arteta quite a lot. It's gone back over a year now at this stage. But I think the interesting part here for Marino is I really like him as a footballer. I liked him as a footballer at Sociedad. His first foray into the Premier League with Newcastle didn't end really, really well for him, but he wasn't brutal. It was just Newcastle were kind of in flux at that moment in time under Mike Ashley. So the reason that I say that's really interesting is I'm expecting an awful lot of late runs. So if the reason that I'm talking about this is that I'm expecting. Remember how Go Ahead Eagles played against us an awful lot? What they did is they dropped their striker back. He didn't really engage with our two centre halves. He dropped back and made it kind of like almost a 4 with no striker. Then they went at times. They gave us the option to play through the middle, but also gave them the option to play kind of raking balls into the corners or into diagonal balls over the top of us. So I actually think that they're going to drag us out. Now, Marino is good in the air, and he could stand toe to toe with either of our centre halves because he's brilliant in the air from set pieces as well. And that's another reason why I think he's in there too. But I think that what they're going to do is they're going to try and draw us high an awful lot and spread us wide with that by making it almost like a front four, but almost on the edge of the centre circle in our attacking third. And I think that it's going to be Go Ahead Eagles style stuff. Obviously not the way that the Go Ahead Eagles played, whereby they were essentially brutal and 2 long balls over the top really were what beat us. Brutal is a bit harsh, but you know what I mean. So I think that there's going to be a bit of that. There's going to be a variance. They're going to try and suck us forward. And then, like, because they've got oodles of pace there in Saka, and then all they need is those guys to get on the ball, hold it up for that split second, and then you'll have that crash, those players crashing forward of Marino, Odegaard, Zubimendi and Rice occupying then the edge of the area. So it's all about going to be playing for territory and position for them, getting Aston Villa turned backwards. And I think that's why Marino's there, because with Gorka's up there, you don't have that option to drop him short. You go long to him, he's a clinical finisher of the ball as well, but Marino gives you that bit more to be able to drag that Aston Villa backline out. And I think Aston Villa probably might have expected something like this, and that's why Maatsen is in there with his pace. But Maatsen is going to have to be on it today, obviously. Martinez, who is on a massive run of form at the moment. So really interesting Arsenal team there for sure. And it's going to make for a very, very good game, because once again, this game is, for me, has always been, this is the barometer game. How Aston Villa get on in this game today against the champions elect is very, very important to the rest of their season, just like Brighton was as well. But also playing this way against the team that I think will try and draw us into that high line and use it against us is going to be pivotal for us as well, because we do need to be able to adapt into defensive formation when that happens, and out of it again then as they go through the middle, and then try to go maybe a small bit longer as well and a bit more direct. And obviously as well, try not to concede corners here or free kicks in around the box, because they're lethal from that side of things. I
think Moreno has been a decent option at that false nine position that he plays in.
Yeah.
He obviously doesn't trust Wanyeri just yet, and Gokra is just back from an injury, so probably starting him is probably not the right option. There's plenty there for us to worry about without there being a full number 9, as we old-fashioned number 9, as we say. So they can hit us from all angles along that back four or that front four. But we got to be patient. Everybody has to be patient, from the players on the pitch, to stick to the game plan, to the fans in the stand, to not get on their backs. The most important thing we do here, and I hope this isn't clipped up later on, is not concede first. Because if we concede first, we could concede multiple goals. And that's the way the game goes when you've got to chase it, and especially against a strong front four like this, who will just punish you all day long on counter-attacks. And that's the way the game is going to be played if we go behind. So be patient with the system. We've got a brilliant, strong team with obviously our own attacking options in there that are capable of hurting Arsenal. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I think it's going to be absolutely raucous in Villa Park. It's one of those mornings I woke up and went, I wish I was in Villa Park today. So that said, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win today. I'm feeling optimistic just because of the two centre halves. I think we're capable of getting at them. We got to be careful. Can't concede first. I think if we score first, we'll score 2. They might add a late one later on. So all I want today is 3 points. I don't care how it goes. Just get the 3 points. If it's 4-3 like the other night, so be it. If it's 1-0, so be it. 3 points today would be the defining moment in our season, and we can just kick on from here. So hope everybody has a magnificent day. I'm going to have to leave early because my bus is going shortly to go in and have some creamy fucking points. But it's bring the noise. If you're on your way to the stadium, bring the noise. And if you're sitting at home, enjoy this, because this could potentially be one of the days that we talk about for years and years to come, the same way as we beat them 2 years ago when John McGinn scored that goal. So fingers crossed that we can go and do it. And who knows what the second half of the season will bring if we're in that position by Christmas.
Absolutely. Go on, Paddy, get your bus. We'll see if we can get you afterwards. Actually, on that, as Paddy runs away there, on that, we may not have a post-match podcast. As I say, there's a possibility I might have to run directly after the game to travel, because, as I say, we're taking the kids to see the wonderful Santa Claus himself tonight, and that takes preference over a post-match podcast, unfortunately. So we'll see how it goes. I won't promise that there will be one. I also won't rule out that there won't be one. But with that being said, I do want to say that my wonderful daughter was running around the house this morning singing that JJ Bull song about John McGinn is coming to get you. And if you haven't seen that song, it's absolutely brilliant. I shared a clip of it on Twitter today. and you can find it in JJ Bull's YouTube channel. It's really, really good. It's a catchy little song. But I think the indoctrination is going well because she's been singing it pretty much non-stop since about 7 a.m. this morning. So that may be a good sign for John McGinn that he's going to ping one in the top bin today, and hopefully that is the case. So Paddy said he's going for a 2-1 win today for Aston Villa. I'm going to be a bit more pragmatic. I want you. It's not that I'm being negative about it. I think that I'm going to just temp it down just because I do sometimes believe in the footballing gods. And I'm going to say 1-1 in this one. But realistically, don't tell anyone I think Villa are going to win 1-0. Okay, but I'm going to say 1-1 because the football gods are listening, and I want them to I want them to see a small bit of pragmatism there. Okay, right. So just in case anybody is wondering, I do think Villa are going to win 1-0. Right. So guys, put in your scores at the bottom there, and we will go down through them. We will chat about those scores. Just one other little piece I would like to say as well is while you guys are doing that, again, NordVPN have extended their offer with us, and you guys will be able to catch it in our bio there as well. If you want to get a discount on your NordVPN plan, all you got to do is go to nordvpn.com/FTLoPM. Our link will give you 4 extra months off on a 2-year plan. And there's no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee as well. As I say, the link is in the description there. It's risk-free. As you guys know, you can use VPNs for various different things. Obviously, if you wanted to, maybe if you didn't want to have, if you wanted different commentary, maybe from a different country, and you were watching it on a different channel's stream, let's just say, then this VPN could be the one for you, and it's completely secure with servers all around the world. So that's nordvpn.com/FTLoPM. If you sign up for a 2-year plan, you get 4 extra months there, and there is, as always, a 30-day money-back guarantee. So thank you so much to NordVPN for that as well. So let's get to your scores there. So we're going to start off with Dicko's going for 2-0. Ollie and Tielemans, that would be brilliant. That would really set me up for the day. I'll be thanking Santa Claus when I go to see him today for that. And Michael Huggins going for 3-1 Villa win as well. Michael O'Brien is going for 3-0. 1-0 says James Francom. And James, thank you so much for that email earlier on in the week. That was really good info. So thanks a million on that. Paul Corbett is going for 2-1. Flange is going for 2, or Paul Corbett's going for 2-2. Flange is going for 2-1. John Duran is going for 2-1. James, I said it again, that's 1-0. Santa Claus is here. He will be late. He's watching the Villa. That's Wellington. 2-1 Villa, says Ger. Master Pong is going for 2-0. John Steele is going for 1-0. Rex is going for 2-2. Junior going for 2-1. 1-0 says Greg. Real Villa is going for 2-1 to Arsenal. 3-3 says Stato. 2-0 to Fantasco. Stato, are you doing a stream after this? Because I must link in there, because as you know, after the Team Sheet Tantrum, we like to throw you into Dale's stream so that you can watch along with his wonderful Welsh dulcet tones. David Dwyer is going for 3-2. Kevin is going for 4-3. 2-1 for John. Osdrum is going for 1-1. 2-0 says Simon. 3-0 says Mike, or 3 points, sorry, says Mike Brosnan. Anyway, we'll do it. Audrey's going for 3-1. Michael Smith's going for 2-1. Matt is going for 2-1. All to Villa. Edo from the Struts, good to see you. Edo is going for 2-1. Edo, did you make that game actually? I know we were chatting about potentially making this one. Wellington is going for 1-1. Max is going for 1-0. Space Pirate is going for 3-2. And breaking news, Stato is doing a stream on this as well. So bear with me there while I make sure that we are set up to throw you directly into Dale's wonderful, wonderful channel. Get tips for success on YouTube. What are you trying to tell me? Am I not successful on YouTube? John McGinn is coming to get you. He's gonna get the ball and he's gonna put it in your net. John McGinn. Just doing a bit here. Bear with me. Keep throwing your scores in there, and we will come back and I will finish them off in a moment. And yes, you are all set up to go back into into Dale's stream afterwards. And Edo made the Wolves game. Great stuff, Edo. Actually, yeah, I think I remember you saying that as well. George O'Neill giving us update on the Blues game. 3-0 to Villa in the Blues game there as well in the under-18s, which is good. And I will have a Villa AM coming out with regards to the academy stuff. because I don't think there was any academy games last week, or at least I spoiler alert, I forgot to do an academy update. So academy update Villa AM will probably be out in the morning as well on that too. So yeah, so there we are, guys. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. There's nearly 1,000 people in here, and also thanks to the Arsenal fans who stepped by. I know some fans like opposing fans like to come in and troll. That's fine. Discourse is what it's all about. We can give it as much as we can take it here as well. But you guys are on an absolute heater at the moment. You know, you're champions elect, and it'll be as much a statement win for Arsenal if they go to Villa Park and win in this fortress that is Villa Park, as it will be for Aston Villa to beat Arsenal and close that gap to 3 points. So this is a big game, and I would imagine TNT are absolutely delighted that they have this 12:30 kickoff today. And so am I, because it fits my day perfectly. If it was any later in the day, I may not have been able to watch this one. But watch it, I will, and watch it I'm going to do now. And I hope all of you guys get to watch this game and get to watch an Aston Villa win. Just before I go, I want to say a massive thank you to Martin McKeever as well. There, he gifted 10 subs to it was 10 subs or 10 membership subs for YouTube as well. If anybody has just received one of those, say thank you to Martin Og. And I really appreciate that, Martin. That's a brilliant, lovely gesture as well. Thank you so much for that. So I am going to leave you and love you guys. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to be back with a post-match podcast directly after the game, but we will probably do one later on in the day once I do get home and get settled after seeing the big man himself. But hopefully he's going to bring me my present early with those 3 points, and we will be talking about an Aston Villa win. So stay safe, everybody. Stay healthy. And all that's left to say is up the Villa.